Britain, the tin box is small, functional and used to store biscuits and cakes. In France, they add wheels to theirs, make them bigger, et voilà, the basis of a whole motoring culture. Since the Citroën 2CV and Renault 4 went to that great scrapyard in the sky, both companies are now trying to reclaim some of that tin box territory. Mesdames et messieurs, the Renault Kangoo et Citroën Berlingo. Now, let's not be coy here. These things are based on vans. But the French, the people who took the 2CV to their hearts, think these bizarre cars are a really good idea. So much so that they're now sending them over here. What are they putting in their baguettes these days? If you think that the outside of this car is slightly strange, then the inside complements it well. To disguise the fact that this is a van ordinaire, Citroën has stuck in some rather tasteful upholstery and colour-coded the dials. But despite those valiant efforts, this car won't be bought because of its styling. You do get a choice of 3 engines though, including a diesel. This entry-level 1.4-litre petrol is zippy enough once you've wound the revs up into a frenzy. And despite its van underpinnings, it handles in a tidy fashion. But people won't buy this car because of its performance. What people will buy this car for, though, is space. It's got gallons of it. You could even drive along wearing an enormous hat, like people aren't going to stare at you anyway. It's also got one of the biggest sunroofs I've ever seen. But maybe Citroën designed this as another way to get into the car because there are no side doors, possibly limiting the use of all that space. Which is where the Renault comes into its own, because when converting this into a car, Kangoo was given 2 sliding doors for the backseat passengers. Smart move, my little French chums. The Kangoo has just 2 engines, a 1.4-litre petrol and a 1.9 diesel. This unleaded version matches the Citroën's performance, hitting 60 miles an hour in around 14.5 seconds. But the Renault is more agile when it comes to handling, though it doesn't give as much comfort to passengers. Inside, the Kangoo is more van-like than the Berlingo, with plenty of exposed metalwork. There are no floor coverings or fancy seat fabrics, but there is, quelle surprise, an awful lot of space. The 2 cars have power steering, a driver's airbag and lots of storage places, with a small options list that includes ABS on both and a CD player with the Kangoo. Obviously, these little creature comforts won't lure anyone into the showrooms, but their prices will. The Renault can be in your garage for a little under £10,000, topping out at 10.5, whereas the Citroën starts at just under 11 and peaks at 11,400. For my money, I'd like to spend the extra and have a more civilised drive with the Berlingo, but the Kangoo is much more practical thanks to those sliding back doors, and it's also cheaper. Obviously, this French pair are trying to emulate the practicality of cars like the highly innovative Renault Scenic, and although they are more spacious, there are fewer seats. They do work well though if you need a van in the week and a car at the weekend. Just make sure you drive somewhere where your mates can't take the mickey.